experiencer. I am limited, a small little person. This is accepted by Yoga and Vedanta as a Viparyaya. Okay. Now Viparyaya means something which is an erroneous knowledge. Okay. It is erroneous knowledge. Recording. Now, to understand what erroneous knowledge means, we provide the example of rope and the snake. Correct? Snake is called as Viparyaya, the knowledge of snake. And in Vedanta, in fact, not only the knowledge of snake, but even that snake is erroneous. So, for the error to occur, the basic requirement is ignorance. Error cannot take place without ignorance. Because of not knowing it is a rope, the error has taken place. Yoga recognizes error as avidya. Okay. What is it that troubles us? What is it that troubles us? Is this Viparyaya? That I am the doer, I am the experiencer. This is the basic error. Okay. Through the Samadhi abhyas, through the practice of Samadhi, what happens is, or even during the Samadhi, okay, the phase of Samadhi, the state of Samadhi, this Viparyaya is doused. If there is no vritti, where would Viparyaya stay? How do we define Samadhi? Samadhi is where all the vrittis are merged back in its source. So now the vrittis are not rising. This is the first thing. Nirodha. When there is no vritti, where is the place for Viparyaya? For Viparyaya to take place, vritti is also required. Because that Viparyaya, vritti in form of Viparyaya is going to be there. Only then the experience of snake or aham karta, aham bhokta will occur. Now, in the state of deep sleep, the ego is not present. Why? Because the vritti which promotes the Viparyaya is absent. Projection is not there. But ignorance is there. So one does not see that ignorance is the problem. What does he see as the problem? Viparyaya is the problem. Is not it? Ego is the ego in the sense, this I'm not going to use the word ego because it has got several connotations. Is the problem. An identity. The basic identity is aham karta, aham bhokta. On this identity, rest of the things are built up. I'm good, I'm bad, I'm a householder, brahmachari, sannyasi. These are the various viparyayas which are sitting on the basic material aham karta, aham bhokta. Now, in the Samadhi, since there is no vritti available, what happens is the viparyaya is not there. Now, what the yoga says is, because of intense practice of samadhi, okay, slowly and steadily the mind gets into this habit of not creating the vrittis. Only when this happens, when the samadhi practice of that person is intense for a long time, and not once or twice or anything. We are not talking about a samadhi which is by fluke or which is once in a while, by the grace of a teacher. Then you are sitting in front of a person, somebody like Ramana Maharshi, for whom the mind is extremely silent, and it does happen. Two objects influence each other, is not it? If I happen to keep a hot glass on a hot glass of water on a cold sheet of glass of my table, when I lift that glass, the heat is also transferred to the table, to that glass below it, to the surface under it. So we know that two objects of the same order of reality can influence each other. Yeah? They can influence each other. So the mind of such a yogi, his presence is so densely silent that it affects even the person who is in his presence. And therefore, as a result, it may so happen at that moment, the person would experience total silence. But that is not due to his own practice. It is because of the influence of a sage like Ramana Maharshi in front of him. Okay? This is not a very unusual phenomenon or anything. It happens. This is natural for anything. Just as the glass transferring its heat to the table surface. Now, when the viparyaya, eventually the mind becomes so dense with that samadhi that it refuses to create any vritti. And when the function of the mind is to create vrittis, when the mind thus does not create any vritti, the mind starts merging in its source, is what the yoga says. Because it is not doing, then might as well go home. This is yoga. And therefore the mind goes into its seed state, not in the sprouted state. Okay? It is in the seed state. But we are saying whether it is in the seed state or not, the ignorance which is the cause of the viparyaya still stays over there. You see, ignorance still stays over there. And because of this, it is the knowledge which takes place due to the pramana vritti. Mahavakya vritti which will arise as a result of Mahavakyam. Ignorance goes away. Okay. Now, going away, dousing of the viparyaya is one thing, and finishing of the ignorance is another thing. Do you see these two things, two phenomena? Finishing of the ignorance is the function of knowledge. Dousing the viparyaya is the function of samadhi. Therefore, and what is the cause of moksha? What is the cause of moksha?
Knowledge.
Finishing the ignorance. Which means once the ignorance is gone, there will no longer be a reason for sharira parigraha, to assume another body, acquire another body. Moksha. There is that. Alright? Now, with the ignorance still there in the seed form, with the yogi, because for him now only, I'm not talking about anybody like Ramana Maharshi, it is not ordinary. Ramana Maharshi, let us not put in the category, he is Brahmajnani. So over there, the ignorance is also not there. The viparyaya, which is a habit of the mind, is also not there. Alright? So what happens is that finishing the ignorance is the reason, is the cause of moksha. Whereas not having any viparyaya is where the person experiences that there is no suffering at all. No suffering. In Jivan, so there is immense silence for him. Peace, joy which is there, but samadhi, in samadhi. So two different things. One is elimination of the ignorance, and another one is dousing of the viparyaya. In case of a jnani, the ignorance also goes away, and as a result, even the viparyaya goes away. But in case of the yogi, who insists only on samadhi, what happens is, ignorance stays, but the viparyaya goes away. Now that means the seed for another janma is still there. Therefore, knowledge happens to be the direct cause of moksha, but this samadhi before the knowledge will prepare the person for knowledge to be received immediately, fructified. And after the knowledge, because that vritti, any vritti is kshanikam, so also brahmakara vritti will also be kshanikam. Okay? It will stabilize the knowledge, not allow the viparyaya to sprout again and again. Thus, there is going to be jivan mukti. Fructification of jivan mukti will be there. And therefore, we have Brahmavid, Brahmavidvara, Brahmavidvariyan, Brahmavid Varishta. Where the samadhi is so dense in a jnani that viparyaya does not take place even in the transactions. So for him, even the transactions also die out. He was just sitting. Well, such Brahmavid Varishtha is what we see as Jnani. But Brahmavid Varishtha is not the only one who is a Jnani. Jnanam is there even with the Brahmavidvara. But he is talking to the disciples, he is answering the questions, he may be even writing books or something like that. But knowledge is always there. It is the same. Aham Brahma, that Atma is Brahma, is something that is there with all of them. This is common. Not that Brahmavid Varishtha knows Atma is something different. Atma, it is depending upon the intensity, density of the Samadhi. That is it. So two things. That knowledge is the cause to remove the ignorance. And Samadhi is, practice of Samadhi is the cause to stabilize this knowledge, to make it dense. Two things. So therefore we do not reject Samadhi, practice of Samadhi. The only thing which becomes, which is mocked is insisting that through Samadhi knowledge takes place. Through Samadhi knowledge does not take place. Knowledge takes place only through Mahavakyam. This is the only difference. Now somebody, and then when he says that through Samadhi some knowledge will take place, How? How will it take place? Then it is all reduced to mysticism. It is not, it is clear, clean thing. There is no magic, there is no miracle, there is no mysticism, there is no cloud of, some mist around it. The whole thing is clean and clear. Because spirituality or this Moksha Shastra is all then covered under that mist of it is a special experience to be had later on. No. It is clean and clear. But we do not refuse or underestimate the need for Samadhi. No, never. We don't say that. And therefore there has to be a committed practice of Samadhi, dhyana abhyas, of meditation, before the knowledge and after the knowledge too. After the knowledge, it occurs naturally. Now, another thing is, that's why it is always said that the Mukhya Adhikari, the principal person who is the recipient of Vedanta, is called as Kritopasti. Kritopasti means a person, a mumukshu who is Kritopasti. Two things. Mumukshu who is Kritopasti. Keep this word with you. Means one who has already undergone the necessary washing treatment. Kritopasti. In this upasana, there is to be understood, he who has done the upasana, whether it is of Saguna Ishvara, upasana is of Ishvara only, or Nirguna Upasana. But he has made Sakshat Kritam, that Devata for him is Pratyaksha. Pratyaksha Praha Chandika. Pratyaksham Praha Chandika. Pratyaksham Praha Chandika. So that the deity for him or Ishvara for this person is not a matter to be something believed in. For him, Ishvara is an open fact like this table. This is Ishvara. The totality of gross world, the totality of its subtle existence, the totality of its causal existence for him, and he is an integral part of that Ishvara. This is Sakshat for him, which is as clear as a apple on the palm, avla, like a gooseberry on the hand, on the palm. Sakshat Kritam. So, which means that for him, the Samadhi Abhyasa, etc., he has already undergone, and therefore, when such a person, at the moment Mahavakyam is said, for him, it is not something, that will be realized later on. It is immediate. It is immediate. Because a fact is not something to be created, cultivated, cultured, manufactured. Hence. So the final thing is two. That Samadhi is required to douse the Viparyaya. And Jnanam is the actual cause to remove the ignorance. Samadhi without the knowledge will of course douse the Viparyaya, but the ignorance will remain in its bosom. Okay? It will remain over there. Alright? Understand this. And that's why we say knowledge is the direct cause. For whom does the knowledge become the direct cause? The one who is prepared. The one who is yet not prepared, for him the knowledge remains arrested, pratibandhitam. Why does it remain arrested? Because that Mahavakyam, which is a pramanam, cannot function because there is an obstruction. The obstruction is in form of viparyaya, insistence that I am an experiencer, I am a doer. What do you want to experience? If the viparyaya is I want to experience pleasures of flesh, okay. This viparyaya will keep the vritti arrested, that Mahavakyam arrested, will not allow it to function. And therefore, when the viparyaya is not there because of the Samadhi Abhyas, the Mahavakyam functions. Aham Brahma iti, finished. What more is required? Therefore, Samadhi Abhyas before the knowledge, before coming to the teacher, is a great advantage to that mumukshu. Such a mumukshu is called as Uttamadhikari, the best recipient, the most qualified. Otherwise, what is difficult in understanding anything? A big deal. Big deal? It is big deal because the viparyaya, which is so strong, is what is the problem. And therefore there is need of samadhi abhyas. We cannot deny that. Now, even to just samadhi abhyas does not mean that one sits and then there is samadhi. No. If the life before that is not led in a dharmic way, do you think that sitting over there, sitting in one place can become samadhi? Yeah. If the life is not led in a dharmic way, what is it that causes one to transgress dharma? Wanting to have money, is there anything wrong about it? No, okay. But then, by murdering, looting, plundering, cheating, why are you doing that? Because the desire is so strong that he will transgress the dharma. Is not it? The ambition or desire, when is going to be... So every time dharma is transgressed, it is only because of vasana atireka. There is no other reason. Now tell, such a person, even if he sits 24 hours, will there be any samadhi? His brain, what will it be working on? Money. You see. And therefore, without following yama niyama, can one seek an entry into the sanctum of samadhi? First, yama niyama, dharma. That's why never ever underestimate the power of dharma. Whether you understand Vedanta or one does not understand Vedanta, whether you agree, you disagree is a different thing. But the first thing is, let there be a firmness of dharma in life. Let there be firmness of dharma. Whether you are a devotee or not a devotee, forget it. Let there be first firmness of dharma. Without dharma, there is no spirituality. One cannot seek an entry in the sanctum of Vedanta. The person will acquire knowledge, but that knowledge will not give its result. He may become a great scholar, a PhD scholar. He may become a pandit, debate. He may even be able to defeat people with his sharp logic and all that. But for him inside, he will still be empty. And this is not meant so that one can become a proficient orator or a debater. This is meant, what is the phalam of knowledge? And removing the elimination of ignorance. Has that happened? Not happened. So, one has missed the mukhya phalam. When you keep a cow, what is the cow kept for? For cow dung? Do you keep a cow for a cow dung? For the cow dung? To get the cow dung? The cow is kept over there so that you can have milk which is nutritious, etc. You see, what is the mukhya phalam, what is the principal phalam of knowledge? Ending the ignorance. And what is he using that knowledge for? For making money, for becoming popular, for making disciples. Then this is, you're just keeping a cow for making cow dung. You're missing something that is more important. That's why there is one example that Santa Jnaneshwar Maharaj gives. This great saint, sage of 12th century, in his work he says that there are these ticks which stick to the udder of the cow. Though sitting on the udder of the cow, what does the tick drink? Blood. Ashuddham. Though over there cannot take the milk. Ashuddham. Then such a person, when who has not led a dharmic life, may become a PhD scholar, may become very proficient speaker, may become very popular, but for him he is not getting what that knowledge should give. The mukhya phalam is missed. This is the reason why we are saying first is dharma. That same dharma will now take you further to samadhi. That samadhi now prepares you for knowledge. And when knowledge is there, ignorance has gone. Therefore, this is a journey. First is yama, niyama, etc. Then is samadhi. Dharma, so therefore karma. Dharma will be in our actions. Dharma will be in the actions. So therefore karma, upasana and knowledge. And that's why knowledge is called as the last station. This is the last. Thus we have 3 kandas of the Veda, 3 sections of the Veda. First is called as the karma kanda, which means dharma. Upasana kanda, meditation. And then finally jnana kanda, the section of knowledge. We have these 3. Hence somebody says that I will take all concessions, I will do whatever I want and all that, and then become some samadhi. These are imaginations. It does not happen. It does not happen. This, either that person is deceiving himself or deceiving others. And therefore this is deception. By ignoring dharma, one cannot gain anything. One cannot. There is no achievement. Dharma is dharma. That's why dharma is very powerful. Dharma is very, very powerful vastu. So actions are of, and that's why you remember in one of the chapters it was very well explained that there is punya karma, papa karma, and mishra karma. Okay? Punya is dharma karma. And actions are performed by three karanas, by the three equipments: the body, the mind, and the speech. And therefore there is punya of the body, of the mind, and of the speech. Then he explained what is called as, what will be the punya dharma performed by the body, by the mind, by the speech. And then the teacher, when he ended that particular discourse in that chapter, he said that try to stay put in punya karma, if not mishra karma, but never ever side papa. Do not allow that. Don't give any entry to it. At the most, if nothing is possible, mishra karma. If you cannot stay put in punya, mishra. Okay? This is the reason.